Hello and welcome to Home with Sarah Jane. In today's video, I am making 3 do-it-yourself Christmas gifts to give out this holiday season. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Sarah and I'm a homeschooling mom to 2 girls, ages 11 and 14. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by once again. I do really appreciate you. So today is the first video in my gift guide series. I'm going to be posting a video every single day this week that has to do with Christmas gifts or gift ideas for this upcoming holiday season. So I hope you really enjoy this series. It is the first one that I'm doing on my channel where I'm actually posting 7 videos in a row, which was a little bit more challenging than I thought it was going to be now that I'm kind of wrapping up filming and editing. But let's talk about the homemade gift ideas that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Now, the first one, we are going to be bottling up some vanilla extract to get that ready and packaged up to give away for this holiday season. And then I'm also going to be what's called forcing paper whites. I guess you can say a paper white is a flower, and it is a flower that can bloom over the winter time if it's cared for properly. And I like to put them in jars and just kind of keep it pretty basic and simple because these flowers are absolutely stunning. And then I'm also going to be making 3 different types of homemade soap. Now, I haven't made soap in a really long time, so if I mess up, I'm just going to share it with you anyway. But I am making 3 different types of soap today. I'm going to be making a lavender soap, a peppermint soap, and what was the other one? A goat milk and honey soap. So let's go ahead and get started. I think we're gonna start with the homemade vanilla extract because I do already have a bottle of it made. I'll just kind of explain to you how I made that for you as I'm bottling it all up and getting it ready. So I made this vanilla back in April, and I typically like to wait at least a year, but we have gone through so much vanilla this year that I didn't have any older vanilla on my shelves. So, I mean, this one, obviously, it's still going to work. It's still going to be good. It's still a beautiful color. I just like it to be really flavorful. So if you do have a year to just let your vanilla sit, that would be fantastic. But for this one, it's going to be a little shy, a couple months shy of a year, but it'll still be really yummy. So when I was putting this together, I used 6 vanilla beans for every 8 ounces of vodka. Now, there are all different ways to make vanilla. Like, some people like to weigh out their vanilla beans because you'll get a more consistent vanilla extract each time. Like, it'll always taste the same if you find like a variation that you like. But for me, I don't typically weigh them out. The vanilla beans that I use are usually pretty uniform in size and plumpness, so I never really found the need to have to weigh them out, but I do understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, it's a more consistent flavor if you weigh out your ingredients, so I totally get it. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these vanilla beans to these little bottles. I think it'll look absolutely beautiful, and it'll allow the vanilla to continue to get more flavorful up until, you know, I give them out as gifts and people use them. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these in half so I could fit a couple pieces in each bottle. I think it looks so cute. I really like the way that it looks. I thought these came out so beautiful. But after I add in these vanilla beans, all I'm going to do is top these bottles off to make sure that they're nice and full. And then you're going to see that I'm going to shrink wrap the top of these. I mean, it's good either way. You don't have to shrink wrap it, but I just like the way that it looks. I think it looks beautiful. And there are different colored shrink wraps that you can use. So I always get black because I just think it's more uniform and, you know, but you can get like green or red. I've seen blue before. So they have all different colors that you can use, whatever you like. And I just think it looks really nice. Now, if you don't have time to make homemade vanilla, you just feel like, okay, I keep on forgetting to put it together, or it's only a couple of weeks before Christmas, I have heard, now I've never done this, let me know if you've done this before, I've heard that you can make an instant vanilla extract in your Instant Pot. Has anybody ever done that? I mean, I've heard of it. I've heard that people have done this before, but I've never done it. I've always done it old school, where I just put the beans in the vodka and let it sit, shake it every now and again, and use it after 12 months. I'm very I'm very old school when it comes to that. But have you ever done that? Made it in your Instant Pot where it comes out like immediately and you can use it right away. I just think that that sounds fantastic, saving people a lot of time, or it really makes a last minute gift idea easy. Okay, so now these are all shrink wrapped, as you can see. And what I want to do is I haven't decided what labels I want to use yet. I did ask you guys on another video if you had any input on which labels that I shared that you liked best for these homemade vanilla bottles. I just need to go through and see what you guys like the most. So I do have these like little, would this be twine? Like Christmassy kind of themed string. So I'm thinking about adding some of this, but I don't know if I should do it before or after I put the labels on. Only because, I don't know. You know what, maybe I will do it now, just so you guys can kind of get a more finished look for the vanilla. And then I will share maybe like on my Instagram page or something when I do put the labels on these bottles, or if I get it done before I post this video, I will add it maybe at the end of this video or something, so you guys can see them completely finished. But for right now, I think I'm just gonna add this red, white, and green like twine, just a little bow on each bottle, and then these are pretty much done. All I would need are their labels, and they are good to go. Okay, so now that I'm done with the vanilla, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Paperwhites together. I think this makes a really beautiful gift, and it's something extremely simple. I just ordered 10 Paperwhite bulbs on Amazon. I will link the ones that I purchased down below if you're interested. And then I went to the store and I picked up a case of these jars. Now I went with these like quilted patterned jars. I think this just gives it a little something extra. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill this jar with a little bit of gravel. Now you can, or is this like pea gravel? Let me show you. Like these little tiny, I'm dropping them. These little tiny rocks. You can also use like colored marbles or like gems and stuff like that. You just need something to put in the bottom of the jar to kind of hold the Paperwhite up. You don't want the bulb to just like soak in water. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash the gravel up really fast. Again, I just pulled this from my backyard. I'm only rinsing it because I don't want it to look dirty when we go to water the Paperwhites. I don't want it to be like all dusty and gross. These are really super simple to make. So I'm just going to open up, if I can open it, open the jar. And I'm just gonna fill a few inches of the jar with gravel. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of water in the bottom of this. I don't wanna put too much because we don't want the bulb to soak in the water, because then it could like get all moldy and rotten. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in the bottom of this. And then I'm gonna grab my Paperwhite and I'm gonna put it inside the jar. And you can kind of stabilize it a little bit more with a little bit more gravel if you need to. Kind of like that, just so it kind of stays in place. And then this, you can just, you know, put it to the side. We're just gonna use the ring. And then we're gonna close it up. And then we could put a little label on it with some thread. It looks really, really cute. I think with this one, I don't know, do I want to use the same, you know, green, red, and white thread? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I think it gives you all the Christmas colors. So I'm going to do this a few more times and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so here is what the paper white looks like when it's done. Now, I know it doesn't look like much right now, but when it starts to grow and bloom, you will start to see, you know, like green leaves sprouting up, and they will, after a couple of weeks, eventually get some beautiful white flowers. So these make really beautiful gifts. If I could find a picture, I'll insert one for you so you can kind of see what they look like as they grow. And I just wanted to let you know as well is that I will add a label, but closer to when I actually give these out. And that's only because I do need to make sure that I'm keeping a little bit of water in here so that they do grow. So I don't like to add the labels until after or around the time that I'm going to be giving them out so that I don't ruin them during, you know, the watering process. But these are very easy to care for. And on the labels, when I give these out, one side it'll pretty much just say Merry Christmas. And on the other side, it will give instructions on how to actually care for your paper white plant. So there's this one. And now we're gonna move on to making some soap. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the soap. Now this is probably the gift that takes the longest to make, and it's only because you have to let your soap set after, you know, you put it into the molds, but it's really not that hard to make. Now, I have not made soap in a long time, so I hope I don't mess it up. I don't think that I will, but, you know, never say never, right? So I am using a goat milk soap base. There we go. That was really hard for me to say. I am using a goat milk soap base for all of my soaps, and I'm actually going to be using the same base and like recipe for each type of soap that I'm making. So the goat milk and honey is just going to be that base, plain and simple. It's not going to be heavy, like scented or anything. It's good for like a more sensitive skin. People that don't like a lot of scent to their soap or anything like that, that's what I'm making the goat milk and honey for. Now, when it comes to making the lavender, the only difference is I'm gonna be adding lavender buds into the soap mixture, and I'll be adding in some lavender essential oil. And then when I make the peppermint, all I'm gonna do is add peppermint essential oil to this same basic goat milk and honey base as well. So it is very, very simple. It's just more about letting your soap set and, you know, just having a little bit of patience so you don't mess it up after you put it in the mold. It is just a very simple, melt it in the microwave type of recipe, and those are the ones that I like. And these look beautiful once they're done, and you could package them up to personalize them to somebody or to just look really, really beautiful, rustic and homemade. So that's why I absolutely love giving soap for Christmas. So I'm starting off by cutting up 1 pound of goat's milk soap base, and I'm gonna just melt this in the microwave. I decided to do these like soap mixtures in smaller quantities just in case I did make a mistake. I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of my supplies and material because it has been a while since I've made soap. I only messed up once, and you'll see that in a little bit. So most of it came out just fine. But all I'm doing is I am adding 2 tablespoons of honey, a teaspoon of, I think that was, a teaspoon of vitamin E oil, and 1 tablespoon of sweet almond oil. And that is the first soap. This is the goat's milk and honey soap. Very simple to put together. And again, this one doesn't really have like a heavy smell or anything like that. So it's really good for people that don't like, you know, scented things. I have a couple of people I know that just, they don't care for heavily scented, you know, anything, soaps, shampoos, none of that. So I thought that these molds were really cute. They have little bees on them, so I thought it would be perfect to go with the goat's milk and honey soap. Now I'm just cutting up another pound of this goat's milk soap base so that I can make the peppermint soap. Now this one, it smelled so good when it was done. It almost smelled like a peppermint sugar cookie. It just smelled so fantastic. I absolutely loved how this one came out. Now, the first time that I made this one, I only added 15 drops of peppermint oil to the mixture, and I didn't feel like it was enough, so I did end up going up to 25 drops of peppermint oil in the next batch of soap. But I just used that same combination that I used in that first soap recipe. It was a pound of goat's milk soap base. It was 2 tablespoons of honey. It was a tablespoon of the sweet almond oil and a teaspoon tablespoon of the vitamin E oil. So I just added in the peppermint, not extract, the peppermint oil to make this one. And again, it smells so good. And I really do like the molds that I used for this soap as well. I thought it just gave it a little something because I don't like to add any colors or dyes to my soap. So I just use like this swirl type of soap mold, and I just thought it looked really, really beautiful. I'll show you at the end once they're all set and everything. I did notice I had a couple of lumps in there, so I did pull those out really quickly so that it wouldn't mess up the soap. And you can see, I'm just refilling it there. And then I moved on to making the lavender soap. Now, this is where I messed up, guys. I messed up with the lavender soap. I was doing fantastic. You know, I melted the 1 pound of goat's milk soap base. I added the tablespoon of sweet almond oil. I added in 2 tablespoons of honey. I added in the vitamin E perfectly. I start adding in lavender essential oils, which I added in 20 drops. And then I realized, oh no, I still have to add in the lavender buds. So when I went to go open this and pour it in, I poured in way too many. Look at that. Too many. That's what that is. That's too many. So I ended up trying to scoop some of them out. This we're calling a tester batch when it came to the lavender soap. So while I'm at it, I'm actually going to make some white chocolate peppermint spoons as well while I'm waiting for the soap to kind of set and everything to kind of settle down. This isn't something that I'm necessarily giving as a gift to anybody outside my home. Maybe like my nieces and nephews, but I'm going to put this in my kids' December box. And I usually buy some kind of like hot cocoa bomb or some kind of like, you know, flavored spoon for their hot chocolate. Well, I found this mold while I was shopping this, couple weeks ago, I think, and I thought I'll just make my own. So I'm going to use some leftover white chocolate and some crushed up candy canes, and I'm going to make our own little spoons as well. So it's almost like a little bonus gift, because you can give them as gifts, maybe with a little box of hot chocolate and a mug or something like that. That would be really cute, and still something a little homemade. So let's make this as well. So I am just melting down some white chocolate in the microwave, and while I was waiting for that to melt, I decided to crush up some candy canes. I wanted to make sure that I was going to get candy canes throughout all of the spoons, so I didn't want to mix this into the chocolate. I decided to sprinkle it into each of the molds. Now, I do want to say this was incredibly easy to make. Super easy, and they were really good. I did eat one. But let me just say that even after refrigerating these and letting them set, these broke really easy. So I was a little bummed about that. I was able to just kind of heat up a pan on the stove and take the pieces that snapped and kind of re-glue them together, you know, melt the chocolate pieces and put them back together. But I was a little disappointed at how easy they broke when I was trying to get them out of the mold. I think I was only able to get 3 of these out of the mold without breaking. But again, they came out really, really cute, and my kids will love these. So it has been a few hours, and now I'm back to the soap. The soap is all set, so I decided to go ahead and package some of this up. Now, I have my youngest daughter helping me put together some of these boxes that I had purchased on Amazon. I really, really like these boxes. I thought they were so cute because they have like that little window in the front, and I love that you can see the patterns on the soap, and you'll be able to tell the different types of soap by looking at it. You know, I really thought that the window was super cute on these. Now, I am just trimming to even out the back of the soap a little bit, and that's all I'm doing. They're done pretty much, but I thought these came out so wonderful. I do want to say that I did go back and fix the lavender soap. I made a few more batches of soap, you know, off of camera, off camera, and they came out fantastic as well. And the lavender soap was fixed and corrected, so that one came out wonderful too. This is the next day now. This is the peppermint soap. I think it came out absolutely beautiful, and it was so easy to make. And again, I love these little boxes. Now, when I give these out, depending on who I'm giving them to, because some people, like I was saying earlier, they don't like heavy scents. If somebody doesn't have any issues with scents and they don't mind scents, I will give them one of each bar as kind of like a little gift set. But if it's somebody that doesn't like scents, then I'll probably give them, you know, 3 bars of the honey and goat's milk soap because, again, it's not scented. Now, this lavender soap, as you can see, came out so much better. It's absolutely beautiful, and it smells amazing. I am so happy with the way that these came out, and I'm so excited that I have so many Christmas gifts completed. So that is it for today. I am so happy with what I accomplished today. I ended up with 24 bars of soap, 11 bottles of homemade vanilla, and 10 Paperwhites. I am so happy with this. I just think everything came out so fantastic. And if you are looking for some more gift guide videos, do consider subscribing to my channel. I will be posting a gift guide video every day this week. So if you're interested in that, stick around. If you have any questions, please leave in the comment section. And as always, thank you so much for spending time with me today and stopping by and supporting my channel just by showing up. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.